Greetings, lovely listeners. I'm Goddess Aroya, and I'm thrilled to welcome you to Elevate and Dominate, the place where power meets play.
Hello, darlings. I'm Mistress Odessa, and alongside the incredible Head Mistress Kayla and Goddess Aroya, we're your guides into the captivating world of alternative dominant women.
That's right. Whether we're exploring the intricacies of dom-sub relationships or celebrating the sheer strength of women, this podcast is your VIP path to an empowering and unapologetically bold journey.
We're not holding back anything, shedding light on the real stories in the sex work industry to share our own experience and insights.
So buckle up, because you're in for a thrilling ride filled with enlightenment, entertainment, and empowerment.
Get ready to be captivated by our conversations, where every episode is a celebration of the extraordinary and the fearless.
Welcome to the Elevate and Dominate Podcast.
Hello. What's up, everybody?
It's so weird to hear my own voice.
I know.
I'm not recording.
I know.
I'm like, ugh.
I know.
I'm like, oh, okay.
I thought it went back to her.
I know, right? Thank God it was turned.
It was okay though. I
No,
love
it's
that
good.
intro.
Yeah.
It's our key.
It's really cool.
I think it was one of the keys to helping us with
Yeah.
the podcast. Honestly, yeah,
Mhm.
because we would always start our show kind of like, "Hey, what's up?" But the
Yeah.
intro really made people pull in and know we are going to be here. So thank you guys, and we love y'all. We
Yeah.
hope that you guys enjoyed the podcast. I am Goddess Aroya.
Mistress Odessa.
Mistress Kayla?
And today we have our guest here again,
Lucy.
Lucy. Yes.
Yes.
You know what? Lucy goes good because you kind of remind me of Lucille
lizard?
Ball. Not a lizard.
Lucille.
Lucille Ball.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
Lucy.
Lucifer. I've just been calling her Lucy.
I
Yeah.
know.
She's like,
She's busy today.
Baby, where are you going?
She's like, I don't want to be on camera.
All right.
She's like, put me away. I don't want to do this
I
today.
already
Like,
gave you guys
I'm a
time
star,
last
but
week.
okay.
So while she's spinning her away, because I feel like we should say, if you're under 18 or don't want to hear about, right, or don't want to hear about the world of kink or BDSM or things that can really enlighten you, it's okay, but please shush.
Bye.
For the rest of you, welcome.
It's not for you. Yes, it is not for you. It is
Yeah.
not for you.
Yeah.
And I it's hard to not look at this camera, but we're going to look at this camera too, you guys, because we want to keep our eyes on here. We want to welcome someone that is helping us out. This person is not a cameraman. Okay.
No, not a cameraman.
He is more than a videographer. He
More than an
is
artist.
An
More than an
artist,
artist.
a photographer. He is
Vide-
a
A genius.
videographer,
Yeah.
a genius, a
Filmmaker.
filmmaker. Oh my God.
A class teacher or teacher.
A teacher
Yes,
and
a
instructor.
teacher, an instructor. Yes,
Mhm.
we
A
want to
good
give him a
friend.
shout out. Steven Sandler, he was one of our guests. We
Yeah, an
want to give
amazing
him a shout out.
photographer.
He
Steven.
is shooting us live now. You guys don't see that view, but we'll edit it in later. But we are attempting to give you more quality. So
Mhm. Yeah,
we're
that's-
glad you are here. You can see Steven Sandler. He is
Say
over there. You
hi.
want to say hi, Steven? Say-
Hello, everybody.
It's
Thank you
me.
for that really
Over here.
warm intro. Oh, hello. Oh,
Mhm.
we're talking into the
That's a
phone.
B-roll now.
It's
Oh, look at that. That's the B-roll.
Uh,
Okay.
B-roll.
Look at her pulling the camera on.
Whatever.
Mhm.
C-roll.
All right.
For the jelly roll.
Yeah, I've never been an A student, but I
So-
do love donuts, so that's cool.
we got a guest today too,
Oh
a
my God.
very big guest. We are so very excited.
I know, I'm like buzzing.
We have Orpheus Black on the show today. Give him a round of applause. I am so happy and so excited about this. I was able to see, well, I don't know if you guys went to the class or not, but I'm always like, it's all about me. It's not all about me.
No.
At DomCon, I was able to go to the prostration class, and it was amazing. And just the way that he deals with his subs is just another form of art. And I thought, what better thing to do to have Orpheus Black on our show to kind of bridge the gap. I kind of feel like there's a gap between male doms and dominatrix.
Yeah.
And we want to bridge that gap. I really wanted to talk to him about being in the arms of a male dominant.
Yeah, and really finding the spirituality
Mm-hmm.
in this
Yeah.
world,
Yes.
which is really cool.
I think that is definitely key.
Yeah,
Key.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
for sure.
So before he comes on, I want to read this bio that I have. I'm just a short part. Orpheus Black is a Los Angeles-based public speaker, teacher, thought leader, and somatic visionary who specializes in the application of ancient wisdom in modern day settings. Known widely for his dynamic sexcraft and ear-perking shows, Orpheus is perhaps distinguished from his peers by his caliber of showmanship and polish in front of a crowd. He is a rare pedigree expert who regularly demonstrates his prowess and intelligence from on stage, in broadcast television, and in up close and intimate classes.
Yes.
Please welcome Orpheus Black.
Ooh. And if you see the beard, you can also see it's very distinguished.
Yeah.
We've
Yes,
been talking about it.
So nice.
The wonderful beard. Yes.
The bearded dragon.
I like that name.
I really like that.
That's a cute name.
I really love that.
The bearded dragon. I think it's a thing now.
I think so too. It's already patent pending.
Yeah, I think so.
And
Yeah.
There you go.
We
So
are
thank you for having me
excited
on your
to see you.
show. I really appreciate it. It's wonderful to sit here with so many beautiful, amazing souls, and I'm anxious to get started about what we're going to talk about.
Oh, I'm excited too.
Yeah.
This has been just like it's been a good time looking through all of your website and finding information on you. I am just so intrigued on your experience. You have been in this business for quite some time. And I guess we could just get started. We didn't even go into hot topics today, but
That's all right.
I don't
Like,
think we
he is
need
the hot
to.
topic.
You are the hot topic today. I think you're the hot
Appreciate it.
topic. We're going to get right into the show, and let's just go, because we do have a lot of questions that we want to ask. And
I'm ready.
I think the first question would be great to ask would be, in your experience, what is the most transformative aspect of being in the arms of a male dominant?
Thank you. In my opinion, the most transparent and the most transformative is the idea that there's many people who want to have a healthy relationship with the masculine. There's so many people who had trauma at the hands of masculine presenting people. So many people who've been bullied, sexually assaulted, disregarded, to be able to have a healthy interaction with a masculine being who can create a safe container, have a person grow and develop in that container, to be able to surrender in that container, and they hold the boundaries, hold that narrative, hold the space for them without selfish intent, is really something that's healing in and of itself. Because in order for most people to heal, especially the sacred feminine, and we're talking about the energy, not the gender, but the sacred feminine, in order to fully grow and develop, they have to have a safe, non-sexual interaction where growth and development can happen in that space. And much of what we do is psychosexual. It's psychology and sexuality, but it is not intercourse all the time.
Right.
So if a person says, I just want to be held, I want to be seen, I want to be witnessed, I want to be enthralled, I want to be engaged, I want to step into another aspect of my own psychology with someone, to try this on and see how it feels, right? That's what we can do as masculine presenting individuals, to be able to help people really feel what it's like to feel safe, to not protect themselves, right? So to me, that's one of the most important thing. And lastly, I will say, is it's a pretty well-known thing within the framework of people who do this holistically, that many subs, their whole life revolves around protecting their body. Protecting their body, right? To the point that there's this kind of cognitive dissonance where a person says, I need to feel in my body, but I'm like, you are a body. You are a body. Do you remember when you first separated from your body? Do you remember when you first started protecting your body? Right? Because that's really what happens when a person has this kind of cognitive dissonance, right? They start protecting their body. So when somebody gropes them or touches them or assaults them, it happened to their body and not them. So I supply a safe space for that integration of identity and body. To me, that's the thing that I try to provide to each and every person who tries to opt into this container. I'll pause.
Awesome. That's awesome.
I love that.
This is, and I feel like that answered so many of the questions that I had. Also, like, I mean, I'll still ask them, but like, that's amazing. Like, I feel like, check my heart rate. Like, that's amazing. Like, that was beautiful.
Yeah.
Say it again. No, it's kidding.
So you really integrate a lot of ancient wisdom and like modern sensuality. How do you believe like that this fusion creates a therapeutic nature for your dominance or for your submissives?
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I think the mistake that people make is thinking that ancients were old and stupid. They really weren't, right? And so many of the issues that we are dealing with today has been thought about throughout history. And so we don't have to just look at today's contemporary thinkers to be able to find solutions to the problems that we're having. A really great example of that is one of the ancient Egyptians wrote this idea that a person who was bit by a snake will fear a coil of rope. Right.
Mhm.
And really what that speaks to is this idea of I was traumatized, and now anything that looks like that trauma, I'm going to have that same visceral reaction to. So I'll fear a coil of rope in the same way I fear that snake. In the same way a person may fear a person presenting as masculine because someone who was masculine assaulted them back in the days, right? We're transferring that fear onto someone else. And so if you continue to read the manual, they talk about how to decouple those feelings and emotions from the past. And so you're able to step in to be fully present in the present, right? To me, that's super important because I don't just need to know the issue. I need to know the process with which to decouple a person from their trauma. I might not be able to fix it, but I can help you get some space from it.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
That
Yeah,
makes a lot of
totally.
sense.
So yeah, because so one of my questions, which is like the last question, but like was because obviously if like you do a little bit of stalking on your page, you've done a lot of like physical, spiritual practices, and I know like on your page, the most recent one was like a Filipino jujitsu or something like that, and like but you've done a lot, and so my question originally was like how does that help like proprioception and like like you in the world, but I feel like you just answered that of like really like separating your body from protecting your body but also being able to use like okay, I see you.
Is that how most of
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, no, what were you gonna say?
I was just gonna say, is that how most of your clients approach you? Do they come to you saying, hey, I am really like, what is the general approach for a submissive towards you, basically?
So it depends on if they're cisgendered males, which is what I get. I'd say about 25% to 30% of my clients are cisgendered males, and the rest are cisgendered female. And most of them are cisgendered, powerful, running businesses, corporation, multinational, multi-talented people. And so I get those two clients. And what most people who are cisgendered females come to me is really for that ability to understand this intersection of spirituality and sexuality. And not only that, this idea that a lot of people feel like they need permission to be in their sexuality. Right? They because they've been oppressed and suppressed for so long that it becomes second nature to hold back on their authentic self.
That makes so much sense.
Exactly. And so here's one of the things that I kind of talk about to help people better understand the three levels of presentation, suppression, and repression. So say I have a child and I say, hey, child, clean up your room. What's the first thing a kid does is they stuff everything in the closet, right?
No. Yeah.
And then they come back and present something to you that they think that's in line with what they think you're thinking. They want to present something that they feel you are going to accept as a clean room. But really what they did is remove every trace of their wants, their needs, and their desires. Right? So in that moment, we do the same thing. What most people have been doing is presenting something that they think their mom wants to see, something that they think society wants to see, something that they think their friends want to see. And they removed every trace of desire, and it's been stuffed into a closet. They've been suppressing.
Yes.
You do it long enough, you are repressing. It becomes right? And so for me, what I try to do is teach them how to properly curate their desire so that they can speak about it, feel into it, lead their life from a space of authenticity. Right?
Yeah.
I want them to be the most authentic version of them that they can possibly be. And you know what? The fear becomes, well, I don't want to be too much. I'm already too much. And I try to preach. The problem is they're not enough. Whoever you've been selecting is not enough.
That's real. That's real.
That's what it comes down to. So we need to go bigger. We need to do more, because the bigger you get, the bigger the containers get, right? Those people who are just enough, trying to squeeze you in, trying to suppress you, trying to mold you, well, maybe their mold gets a little bigger. Maybe they decide to grow. Maybe they try to meet you in a way that's going to be, I'm not going to control, I'm going to work with your nature.
Interesting.
I like that.
Love that.
Have you read the book, The Body Keeps the Score? Sorry, not to interrupt. I'm just curious if you've read that book before.
Reading The Body Keeps the Score.
Currently, so am I. For the past like 6 to 8 months, I've been reading it.
That's interesting.
Because
interesting.
It's kind of like, it sounds not like similar, because like, you know, like you could teach Sunday service, but I don't know if the book could. But like, you know what I mean? Like, it just sounds like a very similar of like, you know, one moment could really dictate a lot of like how one would act, or like how it's truly kept in the body and like repressed. And it's not like the way you're saying is much more eloquent, but like it just kind of reminds me of that book.
Now remember, your body keeps the score at the point that you start repressing.
Yeah.
Right? But most people, and you as dominatrixes know, that most people know what their kink is. Most people know what they want. They're just hiding it from you.
They're scared to say it. Yeah.
They don't trust you.
Just so funny. I'm like, why are you women?
Exactly. So they come to me, and that's what I say. It's like, if you're going to trust anybody, it's me. You're paying me to be a safe space for you to be anything you need. Right. So let's go in that closet and let's start pulling some stuff out. And that's really why colloquially we call it coming out of the closet.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. That makes so much sense.
Like coming out of the container now.
Yeah.
Because the difference between suppression and repression is suppression, you know what you're hiding. You know what you're hiding. Repression is you forgot because you've been hiding it so long that you forgot it was even in there.
Down in there.
Now it's like part of you.
Exactly. And now it becomes a part of your body, and now it becomes feeling and emotion. And that's where we start needing psychology, because while kink is therapeutic, it is not therapy.
Yeah.
So everything that's retrievable, everything that you know and are conscious of and aware of, I can work with that, but I can't work with the stuff that's deeply encoded into your body.
That
makes
sense.
Interesting.
I like that.
Whoa.
That makes a lot of sense.
And he takes a sip from the tea. You're like, just so you know.
It's just tea. Just in case anybody thinks it's anything else, it's just tea.
Oh, I love it. Spill the tea, baby. That was beautiful.
As someone who embodies both strength and enlightenment, how do you balance the power dynamics in your sessions to create a healing space for you and your clients?
So the first thing is that, in my opinion, I have to be comfortable with becoming. Right?
What does that mean?
If I'm not comfortable with becoming, you're your father figure, your teacher, your educator, your prosecutor, I got to be comfortable with becoming whatever companion that this person needs on their journey. It's not me dictating to them. It's them help dictating to me.
Yes.
They
Yes.
tell
Yeah.
me, you know what I mean? They tell me who I need to be with them.
Right.
Right. Because
True.
the spiritual narrative is about being, not doing. Right. Lots of people can do floggers. Lots of people can do spanking. Lots of people can do electricity and fire. But can you be who they need you to be with them?
This
That
is
makes
true.
a
Yeah.
lot of sense.
Yes.
That's why we are professionals, right? And they are lifestylers, right? That's, to me, the difference is, to
Yeah.
me, I understand the psychology and the deep need for me. If I'm empowered and I'm comfortable with myself, I'm not attached to one way of being. I can show up in every way that I feel, every way humanly possible, to help facilitate this person on their journey, because kink is a bonding ritual.
Mm-hmm.
There ain't nothing that you can do with a person is seen where you don't feel closer, where you guys didn't have a shared experience, where you didn't become one another.
Yeah.
Right? They
Right.
Yeah.
want you, they need you, they require you. There's some level of attachment and connection that's happened there, and we're not conscious about the connections and the attachments that we're having.
Mm.
Mm.
I think that's very profound to say, because
Yeah.
I find myself being super selective when it comes to my connections, and the one submissive that I've collared, I do see like I'm so protective over this person. And I when I took your test, which we'll speak about, I realized, oh, I'm the father type. What? Like, but I do realize that I do allow a lot of input. My style is allowing a lot of input from my submissive, and allowing us to like kind of collaboratively come up with something that works for us both, that we can both feel a part of, and not just me spitting things at you to do and telling you, to be. I personally cannot work like that.
Yeah. Seeing what sticks.
Yeah, I've always approached this in the aspect of being therapeutic, because to me it was, if I was going to do it, me being a trainer and my goal being to show my clients how to be healthy from the inside out, I wanted this to be something that was helping people, not just me in here just I'm slapping the people around. Like, that is just not the thing. So meeting you and seeing your style was so encouraging to me, to know that this is a thing. It is a way to help people get to a goal in life, and not just, what I thought it was, the stigma of it being, this dark, deep place.
The BDSM marketing plan. That's it. I mean,
Exactly.
that's really what it's a marketing plan. We sell sensationalism. We're selling car wrecks because, like, oh my God, look what's going on over there. And everybody's rubbernecking, thinking that this is what it is. But they don't see the human element. They don't see the humanity. They don't see the transformation and the growth, because they're just getting one snapshot. They walk by, see someone bent over, getting hit in the butt, and that's it.
But they walk by, and you're right, they rubberneck, and that's why we have traffic in LA. And that's what it is though. Everyone is interested and they want to see it. They're just
they're scared.
Yeah, they think you have to be in a car wreck to actually go through it.
Exactly. And they're more concerned with what bodies do, as opposed to what human interactions are happening, because you can't see them. Right? It's between that person and that dom and that sub, and that's it. And you can't see it, because if you look at the layers of connection, you see that there's connection first, then contact, then we can go into hit, hurt, harm. Right? That's the way it works. You can't jump to harm. You can't jump to hit, because the body will have a visceral reaction and want to defend itself. And even if it doesn't do it physically, it'll do it neurologically, right? It'll do it psychically. It will put up walls and defend. And now you have to work backwards to try and get to that place where the person lowers their defenses and then ramp back up. Anybody who does this a professional, there has to be connection before contact.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Absolutely.
True.
Yeah.
So how would
And
you,
that's
because
one of
I
the
know, like, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was going to say that's one of the things that you learn in martial arts. So I do Filipino martial arts. I'm a guru in Lameko, which is a Filipino martial art, and it's basically guerrilla warfare. And so they understand the psychology of human interaction. Right? I understand that when I walk towards someone, their defenses go up, and that's why they put their hands out. Right? This means stop to most people. Or the step back means move. You're too close. I understand how the body works. So I understand that even if your mouth says, yeah, I'm comfortable, but your hands go up, that's a no to me. That's a
Absolutely.
stop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. And you have to know the body, because there could be people coming in here at a young age, because I have noticed that there are some younger women coming into the business, and so the idea sometimes will be, well, I've escaped my trauma, so now I'm going to take my trauma out on someone else, and they don't understand the spirituality and the intersection between the spirituality and the kink. They don't understand that. When do you think that you started to understand the intersection of spirituality and kink?
Okay, so I'm going to preface this with this. This is going to sound horrible. Okay.
I'm so excited. Come on.
Let's go. We want to hear it.
It sounds horrible, but I am human. I am not a god. I am just human. So I used to be bi-coastal. I had subs in New York and I had subs here, and I would go visit my sub in New York, and she just lived in her spirituality. And I found myself resenting the fact that she could be so open with her spirituality and I couldn't access it.
Wow, that's interesting that's what made you change over.
Yeah, I was just mad. I mean, she lived it and walked in it, did it every day. And it was like, look at me, I'm doing my thing. I'm doing my yoga and my meditation. And she do walking meditation down the street. And she would just do, and I'm like, I hate you. Like, you annoy me. I'm like, oh. I'm like, I was just so jealous of the fact that she was capable of living in it, that I started to, like, when I came back to California, I was like, okay, I've got to pick up my practice again. Right. My grandfather was a Buddhist. My parents were hippies, and I was always with the Hare Krishnas, and since I was a small child, and being shamed into being Baptist, or being shamed into being Christian, or at least presenting as those things, led me away from my true path. And it wasn't until I recognized in myself that I was jealous of someone who loved me because she could live in a way that I wasn't able to. Made me really see the fundamental flaw of who I was as a Dom. A Dom should never feel jealous of their partner. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so I had some work to do. And so I put in that work, and here I am.
I love that.
I love that. Yeah, I feel like a lot of people will feel the jealousy and they take it the complete opposite way, instead of being like, why am I jealous? Let me explore that, and then, like, maybe, I don't know, be less jealous by,
to be like, wait, it's me.
Like,
yeah.
You're like, I can also do that.
I think that's another reason why I use the title In the Arms of Dominance, because there is a specific type of style where it's you care. You actually care about your submissive. And I'm not saying that to say that others don't care, but I can see it. And I mean, it's something that, like, you're saying you were jealous of her. I'm glad that you met her, because she was able to rub off on you, because it makes me like, I'm jealous the fact that you could do all this too. Like, I'm not jealous, but I'm like, to the point where I'm like, it just really opens my eyes, and it lets me know that I'm not on a path that is, I really was thinking for a while, like, maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm talking some shit that people are like, girl, this is not spiritual. This is sexual, and that's it. And when I found, when you connect and you seek, you will find. And the more I seek, the more I find comfort in this lifestyle,
Yeah.
and in comfort as a dominatrix to understand like what I'm doing, you know, because I have family members, and you know, as a Black woman, that there's a stigma attached to the fact that I'm even in this lifestyle. You know what I mean? So to be able to feel comfortable here and feel like, you know, I don't mind sharing it with my children, my family, my friends, because this is a spiritual thing and it's a sexually healthy thing. And I'm just so grateful to a person like you being able to do that.
Yeah.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I feel like when people start like really like, what are you doing? What are you doing? It's like the opposite of what happened to you. Instead of being like, what are you doing? They're like, what are you doing? You know, like it's like literally the same question, but very different tones and like, you know, like forward movement.
Yeah. Yeah. This whole thing, you know, speaking of just being a person of color in this community, when me and my partner came into it, it was still blatantly racist. You know, I mean, we would go on stage and they would say, we don't want to see that N-word in here. You know what I mean? We would still have people making racist jokes. We had people trying to, you know, forward us at the door or charge us more to be there. Or, you know what I mean? Like when we came in, we were the Black community, and me and my wife both said to each other, like, we're going to stay and not let these people run us off, because we want to be the faces that other people see that look like them when they come in. And now, especially in California, right now we have a much bigger community. Now people can walk in and have a great time, and you know, maybe there's a little something here and there, right? But it's not as overt as what it was when we came into it. You know, so you know, people deriding my wife's butt because she has a very Afrocentric posterior, you know, and it's like
a big old booty. Yeah, we like a big old booty.
She got a big old booty, and people are like, you know, people would come in and say she's obscene. You know, she's wearing the same thing that everybody else. They would say that her body was obscene. They would shame her body. They would say,
I'm obscenely jealous now. Go on, sorry.
Right. So it's really good to see people of color come in and not have to weather that same thing, you know what I mean, to not have to go through that. And, you know, when we started getting messages from people who are going, oh, I didn't know other people did this, or I've been so ashamed because I don't know anybody like me. You know, when I saw your pictures or your photos or your videos or whatever, it was like, you know, I realized that I can start looking for this myself and I don't have to be ashamed. It really invigorated us to continue to go in this lifestyle.
Yes.
That's awesome, though.
It is. And I think you may have definitely have set the groundwork for that, you know, because when I extensively go through it, I don't see many others of your stature. And so, like you say, to hear that you did experience that is saying that you did lay some groundwork, because me being in this industry, I've probably experienced a little bit of racism, but not as much as I guarantee I would have experienced 10 years ago or even 5 years ago, or, you know, because I think now it's a lot more open. So, the acceptance in our community, I just watched the show. I don't know if you've ever seen that show. It's called Down in the Valley. Have you seen that? So they have a documentary style show on Stars right now, and the one of the guys, his name is Nick Anon, I think something like that. I forgot, I can't remember his name, but he actually was the host, and they went through the fetish community in the South.
Oh my God!
I did not know that there's such a huge community in the South, and I instantly thought of you, because I was like, oh yeah, I can tell at these certain parties, like they bring people from other states and other countries. I know have you ever been invited to something like that in a Southern state or a Bible Belt place?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, it's very different. It's very different, and I've been in predominantly POC spaces, and I've been in predominantly non-POC spaces, and they are night and day different. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to MSC, which most people from the South go from MSC up to Maryland to attend this event, and it is pretty crazy. Now, I got to tell you, when people are in their little microcosms, everybody's got their big wig, their big name, and the guy and the dominatrix with the name, and everybody wants to show their little stuff. And then as soon as we show up, people don't want to play. I don't know why. They're like, oh, I don't want to play anymore. I'm like, come on, man, we can all play.
You probably come in there with your guns hanging and like, no, you. They're like, no, I'm good. You're terribly
competitive. I'm terribly competitive. You can't come in there and do something that I don't know how to do and me not try and show you up. Yes. So when they did, I do understand. Yes. I'm here to be the best at what, even when I go to a martial arts class, I tell a teacher, I'm here to be your best student. I'm not here to learn an art. I'm here to be your best student. When I go into a dungeon, I'm here to be the best dom. You know what I mean? When I come into a person's life, I'm trying to be the best husband, best partner you do. You set the bar very high. You know what I mean? I'll give you an example. When my partner was trying to pass her PhD, I read everything she read. Right? Aww. I'm like, I love it. I can't help you. Right. So I read everything. She got a minor, her major in mythology and a minor in Freudian studies. So I read everything Freud did, everything Hillman did, everything. Right. I had to catch up in 2 years but she had been doing it for 8. So that's me. I will not be outdone by anybody.
I love that.
Don't you ever want to take a nap? No, I'm just kidding. I love that. No, I love that. That's amazing. You know,
that's really cool.
To me, that's the mistake. Right? Doms are sleeping. I got to be working. I do not ever want to fall behind. I do not ever want someone to be better than me at anything, even though they may be. It's not because I didn't try to be better.
I love that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, yeah, you're getting better. You're getting better for yourself, not for like external.
Yeah.
Well, maybe there's maybe external, like, like fanning the fire.
That's a hard thing to do. Yeah. To not try to impress everyone on the outside. You've
like
created,
for yourself.
And you created a signature style with your black tie bondage, right?
Yeah.
And how does this technique embody your philosophy? Like, how exactly explain your black tie bondage to us?
Well, I have this philosophy that nobody likes bondage, financial, emotional, or psychological, right? What they like to be, they come to me to be a focus of a process, right? So a lot of times rope tops make it about themselves. Look how I tie. Look what I've done. Look at me. If I can remove myself and just be a safe space for them to have this experience, a less invasive way to do that, then that to me is the best way to do it. So that was the real reason why I wanted to do this. And I based it on this kind of Japanese underwear, like it's called a fundoshi. It's when you see the people just wrapping a cloth around their underwear, it's like they put it on and then forget it's there all day. Right?
Yes.
I want them to feel contained. I want them to feel held. I only tie as tight as my arms can hold a person. These are only surrogates for my arms. You know what I'm saying?
Oof.
And so that to me is important. The next thing that I did, and I think that's the main difference, is I use what's called in entertainment a gimmick. So I usually tie them to a sword or another thing, and when I remove the sword, all the rope comes away. So if I just put everything, the full harness, the full suspension, I can take that one piece out and everything drop away. And the reason I do that is because people stay in it longer, right? They'll be in it longer because they know they can come out instantaneous.
Yeah.
Right? But the normal way to do it is if it takes 10 minutes to tie, it takes 10 minutes at least to take it off.
Wow.
Right? So that's really the kind of fundamental narrative that I try to cultivate. Black tie bondage is my invention. Also fire play, the way it's done now all over the world is because I invented it. right? So anytime you see those black those torches with the black Kevlar tops, that's my creation. Doing fireplace standing up, that's my creation. Trailing and all the other stuff, that's my creation. Like I did all that.
Oh my god, that's why the that's why the Sirs was like, oh my god, I can't believe Orpheus Black is going to be on your show. They were like, and I didn't know, like, because that's what they do. They do a lot of fireplay, and they were like, oh my god, like really? Okay.
Yes. Yeah. This is a big moment. You are definitely someone who is influential in this lifestyle, like amongst a lot of people. I've seen some of the people that are like sneaking, not sneaking, but like in the lifestyle, but they don't want to tell anybody. I don't want to say sneaking, but I've seen a lot of males speaking about you online, about what they've learned and how it's made them understand themselves a little bit more. And I feel like you've just really crossed over some boundaries that haven't been crossed over. And I think that's another reason why we interview you. I really want to know, how do you see the male dominatrix, male dominance and female dominatrix intersecting more so in the future? Because I feel like there is a disconnect when it comes to these two. So do you have any solutions for that?
You know what? I have no solutions, but I think that dominance and dame should all be just doms. I don't think
right.
There's no reason that we should feminize it, because in a patriarchal society, anytime you end something with an A, it inherently means feminine, and feminine implies weaker, right? And that's what our patriarchal mind instantly goes to. Okay, so I would just say, can we just like be all doms or all dominants? Can we all be all masters and just leave it at that? So that way I can really just step into this and just recognize this person as a peer, just like we don't go actors and actresses anymore, right? Because mistress, right? It implies the feminine dichotomy, and people look at them differently. Right. And then actually there's a whole system of oppression that goes with adding A's and adding S's to words.
That's very profound. Very profound.
Like the E's for Dom versus like no.
Right. The DOMME. And the DOM. Right.
Yeah, because a lot of like what you were saying earlier was like, I feel like we kind of like think the same way of like, it's much more psychological. Like we want the connection, but that's, I mean, obviously what you do, like, listen. I'm not gonna like say that I mean, even within that realm, but like a lot of it is like, I feel like we're similar in the sense of like, we don't just want to be like, oh, you want to be tied up, all right, cool,
right? But I don't think anybody wants to do that, because it's so, you're giving so much of yourself that it's that interaction needs to be a reciprocating interaction. It can't be like, I'm just here tying you up.
Exactly. Like, I think there are people who do that.
There's a lot of people that try and do that. I don't think it's like a longevity thing, but
I don't feel like there's any longevity in that, because if you're not involved, if you're not present,
it's dangerous.
The experience is not going to be the same.
Yeah, and I don't think that you wouldn't enjoy it personally. They wouldn't enjoy it, because it's like you can't be that close without picking up like some kind of
energy. And then and just being around someone. I just heard it today, like, they literally, there's a scientific test that can test the energy of an object or a person. And how, when another energy enters the room, how the energies that are there are affected.
I read like I read plants, like science, like things about that before.
That's interesting. With plants,
and so I just don't see myself being in a place where I could just have a moment with someone, an interaction such as this, that the interactions that we have with people, and then leave that moment feeling like just like it's just I'm always done when I'm finished in a session. I'm done. Like my body is tired, my energy's tired. Like I've given that person something of me. So I don't see myself coupling or having sessions with people that are just gonna take, and then
you don't want to work with those people.
I can't. I can't deal with that.
You might do it once just to see,
right? I mean, it happens at the party.
Have the experience by accident,
right? It can happen at a party. It can happen at a party where you just, okay, this person wants a session. But for me, I'm still gonna have that 5 minutes ahead where we're gonna talk. We're gonna hug it out, and like I need to have some intimacy with you if I'm gonna have this moment with you. So
You know, just we also have to look at this too. There's a to go back to the original question about finding unity amongst masculine presenting and feminine presenting dominance. If I say this, spell dame, what would you spell?
Dame?
Domme.
Okay, so
wow.
separate the M's.
Me.
Who is
Oh,
this?
me. Dominant me.
Oh.
Ooh.
I see you. And I
I
like it.
feel that.
Originally it was a derogatory way of allowing people to be like, yeah, you guys are dames, but they were really saying dom me. Dio, you're all just saying dom me, because you're not really dominant. You're just presenting as this. It was a derogatory statement.
No,
That
I'm
actually
learning
makes
something
sense.
new.
I'm like, wait a minute, our website.
I am
Wait a
learning
minute.
something new. I love it.
Right? Now, I'm quite sure that, you know, to the best of everyone's knowledge, you know, most people have forgotten this. I mean, this is, you know, it's just because I was around a lot of old people. I came in, like, when I came in, there was nobody my age. Everybody was 20 years, 30 years older than me. And so you guys had a chance to listen to those conversations, right? And that's where you get dom me from. It's like, yeah, they're a bunch of dom me's, right? And I was like, oh, I get it. But if you look at the psychology, what the patriarchal mind still hears unconsciously is they're not really dominants, they're really dominates.
They're just women.
Oh,
Yeah.
wait, that's
very insightful.
because everything has a history, right? So that's so
Yeah.
I never
That's
would
very
have. I would just like, you're damn right, I'm a female, like dominant. But now I'm like, oh,
I love
okay.
that.
I'm still a
Right.
female dominant, but whatever. Interesting. Thank you for
so-
sharing that. Whoa.
Yeah, so I think that, you know, we can just kind of kill all the bullshit, just excuse my language, kill all the crap with just being like, let's just all be doms. Let's just be, we're all dominants or we're all masters, or we can just align on whatever the language is. You're my peer, I'm your peer. We just do different things with different people, but we all are leading relationships. We are all guiding people. We are all safe spaces for other people's growth and development. We are all doing the same thing. There's nobody who's not doing the same thing.
That's true.
Wow.
That's
see what I'm
very,
saying?
very, very good.
Yeah.
I do.
It's actually very interesting.
It's very interesting, and I'm so glad that you were able to say that, because this is one thing that I think is necessary to be said. There has to be an intersection where there's just a common ground, because we're all here to do the same thing. And what I've been really researching is, you know, in this lifestyle and in this time, not necessarily lifestyle, but in this time, we are the spearheads of a new understanding when it comes to sexuality, when it comes to spirituality. We are here to share information that a lot of people like, especially the way that you're doing it. This is not something of the past. This is something new for new ears to hear, and for a new generation to be sexually healthy, you know? And I think that is something that society is in need of. And I didn't realize it was that type of thing when I got into it, but I understand that now. I understand that we are spearheading, and we are, the word I heard was, we are of a new, can't even think of the word. I said it before on one of the other shows, but we are definitely a part of a new paradigm when it comes to sexuality, and you're sharing information that is definitely needed for our future. Definitely.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. You know, I really believe that cisgender men need to be deprogrammed, and cisgender women need to be reprogrammed in a way that brings us together and not pushes us apart. Right?
Yeah.
You know, we have to be able to find a way of relating to each other that unites both masculine and feminine presences, you know, in physical form, in space, in time. We all need to be able to come together, because when it comes to this sexuality, when it comes to this lifestyle, to the outside, to the dominant culture, we're all sick. To the dominant culture, they wish we would all be done, exterminated, wiped off the face of the earth. You know, they think that we are deviant, sick people. And if we don't, they win.
Right.
Yeah.
That's so
Yeah,
real.
and it's those
That's so
people that
real.
are like, wait,
In the
so
most
what
need.
happens? And like, what do you
Mhm.
do? Like, when do you do it? And where? Like, those are the same people. Get out of
Yeah.
here.
and that is definitely the way that it is to be dismantled, when you bring in a group of an area where there's supposed to be a safe space, and then you find a way to separate them.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Make
Like,
them less powerful.
it makes it less of a powerful situation. So I love that you're saying that we should come together in this aspect, because we are a community that needs to share and show that aspect of what you're saying. So that's very profound. Thank you for saying that.
Divide and conquer is really huge. And you know, I tell my male clients this all the time. I'm going to be hard on you. I'm going to be hard on you. I know what it's like to be coached. I know what it's like, you know, as a person who played football, as a person who's been in martial arts for over 40 years. I've had the best coaches. I have the best teachers. I've had the best instructors. And the thing that I know that each person brought to me, each teacher said, is you are the thing that is getting in your way.
Mhm.
Right?
Yeah.
Every
Yeah.
time it's the thing that is getting in their way. And that's really the thing. It's like, and you almost have to beat the ego out of them. You almost have to ride them to where they can hear you.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
They were like, "Oh, I need floggers. Now give me a person. I need somebody to hit." That's not what we're doing here.
I love it because I'm like, do you know what a flogger is? Because you're actually calling that a whip. I'm like, you know what I mean? Like, you don't even know. Like, get out of here. Step one.
Technically, if you think about it, I'm the flogger, and this is either a flail, a scourge, or a thing. There's nothing called a flogger. I'm the flogger. They are the floggee, and this is the instrument which I use. There is no such thing as a flogger, right? I'm the flogger.
I'm the
They are
flogger.
the floggee, right? Jesus was flogged by someone. You know, this is a flagellum, or this is a scorpion, or this is a scourge, which are the names for these things. But I am the flogger. You see what I'm saying? So
Learning all new stuff.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you
right?
remember when we did the goldfish thing? And you were like, "What's your favorite tool?" And I was like, "Myself." I feel like that's like what you're saying is like you're
Yes,
the
you
tool that's
are the
really
tool.
coming
Yeah,
forward.
that's true.
I felt all sassy when I said it, but I feel like it's true for most people.
Absolutely true. It is absolutely true. In the same way, a painter picks up a brush, but the expression comes from him, his creativity, his way of being. When I pick up a flogger, it is the essence. It is my desire. It is my longing. It's my method of communication. I'm painting with feeling and emotion. It's expression. It is not this thing that is doing the work. This item is not hitting someone. It is me having a visceral interaction, and this is the method with which I communicate with other person.
Awesome.
Right? That is really what we're talking about. To me, is that's very important.
Yes, it definitely is. So I wanted to explore some of the information. How can we talk to some of the couples? Because we do have viewers that are couples. And I wanted to know, for the couples exploring dominance and submission together, what advice would you give them to ensure that the journey is fulfilling and transformative?
Well, I think the first one is no one's kinkier than anyone else. That's the first thing.
Lovely.
You know what I mean? Like a lot of couples are like, that's not kinky. I mean, I'm into this, and that what you're into, that's normal. This is not my kink is, you know what I mean? It's like, this is not one-upsmanship. This isn't who's kinkier than someone else. It's really about sitting down and hearing your partner, seeing your partner, witnessing your partner, exploring your partner, and also getting the emotional content behind what they're saying. Don't just listen to the words, feel what they're saying.
Yeah.
You know? So the best thing that a person can say, especially for a person who's cisgendered and raised male in the United States, is one, shut up. Two, you can say more about that. Say more about it. You know what I mean? I've never heard that. That's amazing. How does that make you feel?
Yes.
You know, what do you think you would get from that? Right? Is there anything else that goes along with this that we could try? Right? Questions, it takes courage to ask questions and compassion to answer them.
Yes.
So be courageous and ask the questions. The follow-up questions is where the meat is, right? That's one of the biggest things that I will always, always, always suggest to couples who are coming into this. I had a Muslim couple, and they gave me permission to say this, but one, they were male, cisgender female, and the guy's like, I want to tie up my wife, and I want to spank her, and I want to flog her, and I want to do this. and I was like, well, what do you want? She's like, I want to be on top.
Okay.
Right?
Makes sense.
Right? And he goes, that's not even kinky. She's not kinky. I said, when you think about this, everything about her upbringing says that she's supposed to be on the bottom of the relationship, the bottom of the society, the bottom of her deviation's actually more than yours, because she's exploring kink, she's exploring taboo, she's exploring a fetish. And she, unlike you, if it found out, it could ruin her in your community. So now you tell me, because you already own her, she is property in your religion. She is your property. You don't have to ask me to do it. You don't have to come to me to do it safely. You have every right to do whatever you want to do, and she can't say anything. So you tell me who's deviating to what extent.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
That's why it's harder on these people who come with this projection. You know, that because they already have judgments, and they have shame, and they have ridicule, and they're propping up a way of being that's already oppressive, and they don't see it. And my job is to call it out when it happens.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. You see what I'm saying? So after that, they prioritized her being in there. We had to have a safe container, a privacy thing. They actually signed a NDA between them that says, if he were to speak about this outside of their relationship and try and ruin her, that she could sue him. Yeah, I mean, there was a whole thing that we put together so that she felt comfortable just riding on top of her husband.
Wow.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You know what I mean? My job, I build safe containers. That's what I do.
That's so interesting.
And
I love that, like, people are even willing, one, to even just have the conversation with you, right? Because that in itself is like a massive step to be like, hey, we don't know each other, but I want to ride it, But then also but to the effect of like, okay, we're gonna make a
contract.
Yeah, a contract, right? And like both of them are like, yes, let's move forward. Yes, let's move forward. So like that's like okay. Lucy. She really likes these contracts. Like, it's just like that's like a beautiful thing to be like, take it very seriously, and like if this is what's gonna make you comfortable, absolutely. Let's like move forward and do it. Like that's really cool. Like that's like amazing.
So do you have classes for female? I really want to learn more. I'm going to do as much more research, but do you provide classes for people that are seeking to be better at their job as a dom?
Yeah, and there's no female in my classes. There's no female and male. So I don't make any distinction. If you're here to provide loving leadership, which is what I call it, or provide intentional relationship design, then that's what we do. And I do have classes for that. And actually they're the entry courses, because those are the easiest courses. I could teach somebody how to be a dom in like 30 minutes. You know what I mean? I could teach you the skill sets in a half a day. But the difference between being versus doing, because the mistakes that we make are often not with utensils or the equipment. The mistakes that we make is we conflate our desires, we conflate our wants, we project our traumas, and we wind up hurting people in that way. And so helping people better thems is really what my classes are about.
I love that.
Yeah.
And we would love to have you come to, I don't run Venus and Bells, but we would love to have you come and do a live show with possibly a demonstration, because
Yes.
I think that's definitely a goal for our podcast, is to do a live event, and having you there would be paramount.
I mean, I would like Orpheus Black Sunday service every Sunday. Like, legit,
that would be, now that sounds amazing.
You talking about language? You say religious play. That's my thing. That's at my retreats. We do a thing called submissive Sunday school, right? And so everybody dresses up in uniforms and the whole thing, and we do class. We have schedules. I have a book called the Enzo, and we made them into coloring books for the class, so people can, the littles can use my books to read the parables. We talk about the thing that they get as far as submission, and then they get to color everything in. So like we have a whole thing, we have the religiosity. I have a full outfit, full priest robes, all the stuff.
And she's got a full studio. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, we definitely got to do this.
So there is one thing that I want to talk about, though. One thing that I want to bring up before we go. And this is something I'm probably going to post about next week. But one of the things that I find is a problem between my male clients and my female clients is this idea that they don't understand the difference between value and worth. Right?
Okay.
Right? Because if you think about it, men are taught to always increase their value. The job, I got to get a better job. I got to get a better car. I got to do this. So to show that I'm a high value man. But what most women are taught is to maintain their worth. And what determines their worth is what the most they've ever gotten from a relationship. Whatever the last thing, if this guy took me to a movie or did this and he respected me, and that's to maintain that worth is it, but not to increase their value. Not to look at how value I am, not to look at how amazing I am. Look, I'm friggin' all that, right? And you can see this in this. If I want to sell a car, I would tell you how much I value it at, and then you would tell me how much it's worth.
Yeah.
Clear determination. And through our society, men and society and all kinds of social norms say, well, you're older, you're only worth this, or you're thin, or you're fat, and you're worth, so you're not worth as much. And so people get so locked into maintaining their worth that they never ask for their true value.
Wait, so what you saying is actually you're an ancient spiritual, like understanding, or like, I don't even know how to say it. I was trying to be like an insightful joke, but like, because at the beginning you were like, ancient is not just old. It's like something that works and like, is held through time as its value. Worthy and valuable.
And I think that's very key. Worth and value. We don't find enough connections when it comes to that to know the difference between that. It's never really something that people have a full conversation on. So I think very good that you're bridging that gap too.
And so my job when I'm working with couples is to take that person aside and say, what is your value? Stop maintaining your worth and tell me what your value. When I want you to tell me what you deserve. You deserve what? You deserve to be heard. You deserve to be loved. That's minimum. What do you deserve? What do you want? And you know how many people say, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what I want. I don't know what I say, do you know that you're enough? I don't know that. Do you know that you deserve everything? You deserve the world. I don't know that. Right? Whereas if I ask a cis-presenting male, you're like, yeah, I know exactly what I want. I want this, and I want this, and I want this, and I think I deserve it. I go to work every day. I do this. They got justifications for all their value and all their this, and most of the time it's an overestimation.
Like 98.
Like, just saying.
Most of the time.
Yeah, I'm like, I can think of 50 million things you're not doing that you should be doing, but I'll let it stand. But when that person we have to empower a submissive to be able to ask for their value and not just accept what they think they're worth, because we always think we're worth less. And that's where the term worthless comes from. We always think that we're worth less. So we'll take whatever seems like it's right on par. Look, it's what I think I'm worth. I'll take it because I may not get any better.
Yes.
Yeah, that's like what I've been given prior.
Yeah.
Take what you're given, not ask for what you want. So again, go ahead.
I just wanted to interject with one thing you said was so key, because I think that was one thing that I had to address with my submissive. I wanted him to be comfortable with telling me what he likes. And I think he was, at the beginning, he was like, well, you tell me what. No. I'm not going to tell you what you like. You tell me what you like, what you want to, and I will eventually try to implement, and we will collaborate and bring this into our sessions.
Well, it seems like that's what a lot of people say too. They're like, well, what makes you happy? And I'm like,
yes, I don't like that.
I'm like, pizza makes me happy.
What they're not
you know,
saying.
yeah,
like they're not saying.
Yeah.
Yes,
It's
exactly.
like, there's a lot of work to be done. Like,
And what it does is, as a dominant, it depletes your reserve for your desires. It's like we're always using my stuff, and then I got like 2 years, 3 years worth of different. After that, I'm kind of running on fumes. So if you don't contribute, then I can't say that I'm going to be able to keep you satiated, happy, excited, moving forward, because we've used all my stuff.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I feel like it's like a dangerous thing to say, like, whatever you want. I'm like, okay, well, whoa.
I know.
Also,
Like, I'll be like, okay, so you want me to kick you in the balls? Well, no.
That's exactly what I do too. Like, I'm like, okay, then what are the hard limits? But like, I do find that like, that question, like when they respond like that, it does deplete me, because I'm like, literally, order me a pizza, let's watch a movie. I'm like, totally, like, that will make
that's
me
my kink, and there it is.
so happy, you know. And then it's like, it's scary actually when people say that, because I'm like, I don't know.
When people say that, I immediately know they don't know what the fuck they're talking
Yeah,
about.
sometimes I'm like, okay, I can't work with you actually. Like,
I'll try, but I need to get like some kind of perimeter going.
I need you to know yourself a little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
My mentor's mentor would have people read 180 Days of Sodom first, because he's like, I need you to know everything that's humanly possible that can be done. So when you say whatever I like, is just know I might flip to a page and be like, I want this.
I love that.
I want to come over and take a nap.
What's the name of that? What is it?
Marquis de Sade, 180 Days of Sodom.
Oh,
and I'm talking about, they got depravity in there. I mean, you want to talk about, he's got all the stuff. There's stuff that you never even thought of doing. And I'm like, but I need them to know how deep the well goes before they say whatever you like. It's like in that movie Coming to America, where Eddie Murphy was asking the girl, he said, you know, what are you into? Whatever you like. You know what I mean? House on one foot, bark like a dog. You know what I mean?
I love that movie. I love that movie.
I didn't see the second one, but
it was.
Was there
it was
something? I don't know.
You didn't miss anything. You didn't miss anything.
You didn't.
Part two.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Whatever.
You got the whole thing in the
we're gonna be. Go ahead. What are you gonna say?
No, go ahead.
No, we're gonna be closing up soon, but I wanted to ask you one more question that was kind of like this, like personal question. I did see that you were in the music industry, and me being in this industry still, and in this new industry, do you see yourself in what ways have you bridged the gap with that? Do you still create music to go along with your? You don't?
No, I am though. I have to do a scene 2 music. Like I cannot do a scene. No. I have to have music. So like I'm always putting together a soundtrack. You know what I mean? Like I want an epic soundtrack that's going to go with how I want to have this feeling, how I want to have this thing. You know what I mean? I want to make a music video. You know what I mean? I really want to go deep into this thing. Because again, you know, I did music first, then I did spoken word, and then I went into the porn business, into the porn industry. And, you know, and my stuff was always super artistic. You know, people were like, oh no, watch that. And you want to see a movie. But for me, that's how I see my stuff. I want to make art. I don't want to just make a scene.
Me too.
Yeah.
Totally.
You know, and so so that's how music still plays into my life. And so I'm going to perform until I can't get up on stage anymore. I'm going to keep doing performances. I'm going to keep doing whatever it is, and music's going to always play intimate role within the thing. Also, because of what I like to do, music becomes key when you're doing like breath play. Music becomes
Yes,
Yeah.
for sure.
right? You know, because I need the person to know that when they go out, they went out on a song that's 3 minutes and they came back in that same song. So they understand that, you know, that they haven't been out that long. But if I want to disassociate or detach them, I can put them out and then drop the music away completely. Right. And then they're at a complete loss. They're experiencing this kind of detachment from reality. They have to find their way back. And it almost mimics a different layer of subspace. And so for me, that's a really important thing. So music can be used to cue up time frames, to cue up psychology. It can be intertextuality. It can play so many roles. To not have it would do me a disservice.
Yeah.
True. Well, I'm just so full from this interview. We really want to have you again. We want to have you here live.
Yes.
We did not know that you were just right around the corner. So this
5
is
pages of
something that we definitely need to do, and we definitely want to have you just come visit the place. And you know, this is a definitely great space for photography. This is a great space to just be a part of the scene, want to come to our parties, and definitely I see the Sunday service happening. I
Yeah.
can see it in my head.
And hugs.
Oh my God, that'd be amazing.
I know. Also,
Please,
before we
please.
go, we have an event here on September 8th as well that I'm going to speak about, but you have an event coming up on September 8th, and this is the Sacred Shibari experience. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, I do ritual binding meditation. And so basically what we try to do is help both parties find a meditative space in the tying where it's not about what people look like or sexy or sexuality. It's really about finding a deeper place within yourself. And so, you know, we do oming, we do not orgasmic meditation, but actual oming. And we do we do meditation, we do a lot of different things to really help a person drop into a deeper state of relaxation, because there's so many people who are tense, they just cannot relax, they cannot find themselves in the rope. And so I can help train a person to find their safe space, find their inner self, find their inner peace in the moment, which is what's really required within the framework of kink. Within the framework of Shibari. That binding meditation that facilitates deep and meaningful transformation is what we strive for. And so, again, it's not going to be about nudity, and it's not going to be about bodies just being, you know, or sexuality or anybody flogging anything. It's really going to be about connection.
Lovely.
Yeah, that's amazing.
That is amazing. And I want to thank you. We really want to thank you for coming to this podcast and sharing your energy. We know that you could be anywhere else, but you are here with us, and we are so thankful for that. And as we move forward, we're definitely going to keep in deep contact with you so we can have you here. Are you going to be attending DomCon in New Orleans in October?
I will.
Yes, we will be there too. Yes, we are. I submitted for a class, and then I'm also a performer. I would love to. I hope I performed at the last DomCon, so I'm hoping that I'll be able to perform at this one. And I also let them know that we are looking to do a live show there. So if we get that happening, that would be amazing. And I'm going to be at whatever class that you will be teaching. I will be there. So just know you will see my face definitely from here on out. Yes.
I'm so envious. I'm so envious. I just had a uncollaring with my sub that I perform with. So I will be there solo. So I don't think that I will be.
Oh, I don't think you'll be uncollared for long, but okay.
Yeah, I think you'll.
I know. I'm sure you'll be.
You probably have
rapping
a
somebody
line.
I don't know. I maybe maybe somebody will show up, but this is me rolling solo for the first time in 5 years. And I just want to say I had my partner I've been with I have a partner for 28 years, another poly partner for 35 years, two partners of 15, and the person I just let go of was 6. And so I have a lot of long-term partnerships. And so when you let go of someone, or you uncollar someone, or you have that breakup, it is deep and meaningful. It is emotional, right?
Yeah.
So when I go to DomCon, I'm hoping that I've healed and will feel good to be in these spaces with a new person.
I would really hope so. I would hope that you find a submissive that is, reciprocating the energy that you desire. I think that you deserve that for sure.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I really do.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, and I have one more thing. I have another class too at 910 WeHo. My assistant just said August 21st, 910 WeHo, Fire Play 2. So we'll be doing a second Fire Play class, hands-on, 910 WeHo. Come and get your torches, come and get your education. This will be hands-on, where people will be instructing. Everybody will be doing fire play on themselves and each other. So this is going to be a big one. So let's have fun.
For sure.
Yeah.
And we definitely want to plug, before we leave, we want to plug the September 8th class that we will be having here at Venus and Bells. It is a photography class with photography, kink photography, fetish photography here with Steven Sandler on September 8th. What time does that class start?
The class starts at 1 p.m. It is a hands-on workshop where you will learn the nuances of fine art fetish photography. Bring your camera. You will be shooting a live dominatrix as a model.
Ooh, this is going to be very interesting.
Of the same sort. It went very well. Popular demand. We're doing it again.
Yes.
And you can find the sign up if you can go to my website at fetishphotopro.com. Just go to the fetish photography workshop on the menu, and there's a full description and a link to sign up.
Awesome.
It's $195 per student. That is all inclusive. That is 4.5 hours, half an hour break for lunch.
That's great.
4 hours of hands-on instruction.
Yeah,
that's a lot.
Actually get to photograph live model.
Yeah,
that's really
kind
cool.
Of helps.
That's
really
awesome.
Really
actually, awesome.
You'll be using my lights, but you should bring your own camera.
Yes.
Awesome. So we definitely want to incorporate bringing you back into this studio, and we definitely will see you at DomCon, and you will be hearing from me very soon, because I want to get more involved in what you're doing as well, and possibly come to some classes, because you definitely seem like someone that I could learn a lot from. So thank you very, very much.
I hope to meet all three of you, and you guys have all been wonderful. And please have me back soon. Let me know when one of your parties so I can come and hang out and play. And wait, I don't know if I have anybody to play with, but I will still show up.
We'll find somebody. We'll find somebody for you to play. I'm sure there'll be a line out the door. If you tell me you're coming, I'm sure we'll be like, you can't come. Too many people.
So
we definitely need to set up a future event with starring Orpheus Black. We definitely do.
Definitely. And we'll definitely link all, like, your event, Steven's event, Venus and Belle's event. Like, everything will be linked. So if you guys didn't necessarily catch it, you will. And you're welcome.
And also, I will be I haven't got my times yet, but I started publicizing that I will be teaching a sub-workout class. And we are offering a 4-class package and an 8-class package for the month. It is a 50-minute workout, and it will be some kink involved, but you will see real results, because we are real trainers, actually. So definitely we have a class coming up in that. So be on the lookout for that for our viewers. Be on the lookout. And again, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so
very much.
Very enlightening.
We're sending you the virtual hugs that we want to give you. Here they are. And we usually say tits up, but you don't have any, so
That's all right. Tits up.
Tits up.
and dicks.
Tits and dicks,
Tits.
you know. I love it.
Thank
So
you.
just hold on for quite a little moment, and then we will we just
Oh, you did.
yeah. I will I'm gonna go ahead and we have to let it all, record and download. But thank you again. And thank you guys for viewing the Elevate and Dominate podcast. We will see you again next week or the following week.
Thank you so much.
Thank
you.
you. Thank you for joining us on another episode of the Elevate and Dominate podcast. We hope you enjoyed your time with us. Remember, the journey doesn't end here. Stay tuned every other week as we continue to unravel the mysteries of dominance and submission with a twist. Don't forget to follow us on social media for updates and share your thoughts using hashtag Elevate and DOMMENATE. Until next time, embrace your desires, explore the unknown, and always remember, power is meant to be shared.